Hello everybody, how are you doing today? And I am making a very different video. Sorry for my, DC Injustice fighting game community. Today I wanted to try something a little different. Something I've probably have never told you guys is that I am a huge Pokemon and Nintendo fan. I've been a gigantic fan of Pokemon and Nintendo. The point of this channel has always been to make videos about things that I really enjoy. And I've actually been playing Pokemon my whole life. I've actually loved Pokemon before I really even got into Injustice, Batman, the DC comics, and a lot of that stuff. I want to see if you guys are okay with this. I want to transition my channel a little bit into not just specifically Injustice content. I want to try to make content on video games that I really enjoy. So hopefully you guys are okay with this. I'm still going to be making tons of Injustice, Injustice 2, all that crazy stuff. With that out of the way, I'm going to talk about the thing I want to talk about. Generation 8 Pokemon is coming soon, hopefully. I've been doing a ton of speculation. The thing is, all these ideas for Generation 8 have just been bouncing around in my head, and I just have to talk about it. I have so many ideas. The past 2 months, I've been going back and playing my favorite Pokemon games to sort of relive that experience. There's been some rumors that Nintendo has been pushing Game Freak to make Pokemon Generation 8 a 2018 release. And you know what? I think we're going to get one of two things. That I think there is 100% a Pokemon game coming out, main series Pokemon game coming out in 2018. The problem is, which game is it? I'm going to touch on this really quick, and then I'm going to jump right into what this video is really about. On one hand, they've never done this before, but I think a sort of remake of Fire Red and Leaf Green, and not even specifically Fire Red, just the Kanto region re-explored, and I think it could be a whole new story. I think, and it should be. It should be a whole new story, new characters, switch up some of the gym leaders, make the villain. I want Giovanni to be the villain again, or we get Generation 8. But now I'm going to talk about what I think. In every single Pokemon game, they always have a new little gimmick that they like using. That it's the big pull. It's the big marketing pull of the game. Now, I'm going to specifically be talking about Pokemon X and Y and Sun and Moon, obviously. X and Y is revealed. A short time later, we get Mega Evolution. And this just blows everyone's mind. It's like, what? It's like, we didn't even think that this kind of thing would even be possible. And, there it is, folks. That was the real big pull of X and Y. Plus, the new fairy type. That was a big deal. We haven't seen a new type in Pokemon since the second generation. So the mindset, I think, for most fans was we're never going to get a new type, because the only two new types added were just because they kind of just left it out of the first game. So I think the mindset was that no new types are ever going to happen. That was just a thing early on that happened. But now we have fairy type. Now we know that they can add new types. So in the marketing for Sun and Moon, you had Ultra Beasts, you had Alolan Pokemon, and you had Z moves. Another crazy thing. It's basically a super move. Most fighting games, have a big cinematic super move, and yeah, it's really cool that Pokemon finally has that same sort of super move type deal. Now we go to Generation 8. I think there's going to be two things. Let's start with Ultimate Pokemon. Now, this theory of mine, Ultimate Pokemon, stems from what I think will be happening in the story. So in Generation 8, I think the team and the boss of the evil team is going to be fixated on developing a piece of technology that when you merge it with certain Pokemon, they can go from their current state to their complete full potential. And my ideology for this is Pokemon, most natural Pokemon represent the natural world. And the team in this case is fixated on using technology to complete natural beings. So this is basically, you have, two halves of a whole. So it's like you merge natural Pokemon with this piece of technology, and you get a artificial natural Pokemon that can reach its full potential thanks to technology. Their ultimate goal is going to be, to use this piece of technology on, whatever the Generation 8 legendaries are going to be, and to just have a collection of ultimate Pokemon. Once you have all these ultimate Pokemon, no one's going to be able to stop them. They'll be the most powerful beings. They'll be the most powerful team in the world, essentially, once they have the most powerful, artificially created Pokemon. Now, let me clear up what ultimate Pokemon is. So, essentially, now let's say you have a Pokemon like Squirtle, okay? Now, let's say Squirtle doesn't evolve. Let's say, it does. Squirtle is a Pokemon that does not evolve from Wartortle to Blastoise. Let's just say, hypothetically, Squirtle is a Pokemon that doesn't evolve at all. What would happen is, when you merge this, in the game it would be a held item. When you merge with this Pokemon, it immediately transforms into Blastoise. It skips the middle evolution and goes straight to its full potential. Now, that's just hypothetical. This piece of technology will pretty much only be a prototype, with the end goal of it being able to transform every Pokemon in the game. But this obviously doesn't happen, and what occurs is that there will only be a select few of very weak Pokemon who I'm going to say don't evolve. I'm going to keep this to Pokemon that don't evolve. So, there's basically probably going to be, let's say there's 10 to 15 super weak, the weakest Pokemon in the game that don't evolve will be able to have ultimate forms. So I think a good example of what I'm thinking is, let's start with a Pokemon like Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo is a rock type, and I think a lot of people really want him to have an evolution. But if they do this ultimate form, what they could do is they could take Sudowoodo and have him become, his ultimate form would be a giant tree Pokemon. This is an example of an ultimate Pokemon, and ultimate Sudowoodo's stats would be on par with other 3-stage evolutions. Let me give you another example. Luvdisc. Luvdisc is a hilariously memeable Pokemon. It's the shape of a heart, and it's super weak. In my mind, I don't even know why a Pokemon like this would exist if it didn't have some kind of future implication. Here's an idea I have for Luvdisc. Luvdisc can also be an ultimate Pokemon, and I think I have a good idea for this. Luvdisc's ultimate form would be a heartbroken Pokemon. So it would transform into a giant heart, and it would be cracked down the middle, and would basically be an angry, heartbroken Pokemon, and it would transform from water into a water and dark type. So essentially, you would now have a very powerful water dark type, this raging Luvdisc. I really think that would just be one of the funniest things if they did something like this. And obviously, for anyone, wondering, this would work similarly to the way Mega Evolution works. You can only have one ultimate Pokemon on your team. And I would even go so far to say maybe if you have a Pokemon that goes into its ultimate form, you maybe also can't use Mega Evolution, but I'm not too sure. And just for the record, ultimate forms would be kind of like Mega Evolution, where you have to activate it in game. A couple others that come to mind. How about Farfetch'd? How about you have Farfetch'd, and also just another, to clear things up once again. These Pokemon would not, their names aren't going to change. I think in some instances they could carry a new type. It's not going to, the ultimate forms aren't really going to look like an evolution. It's not going to change its look completely. It's just going to be that Pokemon. If, say in another universe, it's just a much stronger Pokemon. For instance, Sudowoodo and Ultimate Sudowoodo are going to look the same. It's just that Ultimate Sudowoodo is going to be much bigger, and it is just overall going to have some slight new features that just make it look a lot stronger. But it is basically the same Pokemon, just a lot stronger, if that makes sense. Evolution is more like that Pokemon undergoes an almost complete change, keeping a lot of its basic characteristics. But yeah, a couple of other funny ones is Dunsparce. I think they could do something really funny with Dunsparce. I think they could have Dunsparce ultimate Dunsparce be like a dragon bug type, and it could be hilarious, and it would be super huge, and it has huge bug wings. A couple others, you could have Corsola. You could have an ultimate Corsola. You could also have ultimate Delibird. For ultimate Delibird, I think they could do something really funny. They could have Delibird look like a big fat Santa. A big fat Santa Claus. And what's funny is that there could be this thing where it's too fat to even fly. So I don't know. They could do whatever they want. I think throw a couple of stronger Pokemon into the ultimate Pokemon thing. Give Sunflora an ultimate. Give Macargo, Pokemon like that. Give those Pokemon an ultimate as well. It can either be non-evolving Pokemon or Pokemon that evolve but are also super weak. That's gonna do it. That is one of 2 gimmicks that I think will be introduced in Generation 8 to kind of make people a little more excited. Obviously, this is essentially going to be Mega Evolution again, but just in a sort of different form. This is kind of like taking this, so essentially it's taking the weak Pokemon in the game and bringing them up to speed with a lot of the other Pokemon. So I want to say thank you for watching. This is my first Pokemon video in a long time. I've actually made Pokemon videos before, but this is the first one that I've made in over a year. So I want to say thank you for watching. If you want to support me making these videos, and I really want to make these videos, I hope you guys are somewhat supportive. But this is an opportunity. I definitely want to expand my channel. I think I've gained a lot of noteworthiness in my little group, but I definitely want to branch out into something a little bit bigger. So that's going to do it. Thank you for watching. Please click like if you enjoyed. Please subscribe. Also, remember, I have a Patreon. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support my goal of one day becoming a full-time YouTuber, you can please support me on Patreon. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. Keep on fighting. Have a fantastic day.